Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. China is the world's largest country in the rare earth industry chain and has complete rare earth mining and refining technologies. The United States is also very dependent on imports of rare earth products from China. However, in recent years, the United States has wanted to get rid of its dependence on China's rare earths and increase the controllability of rare earths. So it has sought cooperation from some countries, such as Vietnam. Vietnam has the second largest rare earth reserves in the world, and Biden came to seek cooperation in order to break China's dominance. The question is, can the United States get rid of China's rare earth supply chain? Rare earths are an important type of mineral resources that are widely used in high-tech industries, including electronic equipment, green energy, national defense, and other fields. China's rare earth reserves are not the largest, accounting for only 23% of the world's reserves, but it meets 90% of global demand. Therefore, China has a dominant position in the rare earth market. In recent years, some countries, including the United States, have raised concerns about their dependence on China in their rare earth supply chains. This dependence made the United States eager to change the status quo. For a period of time, the United States discussed the possibility of cooperation with countries rich in rare earths such as Mongolia and Australia. Especially in Mongolia, the country's rare earth reserves are enough to meet the massive needs of the United States. However, Mongolia's infrastructure is average and cannot transport rare earths to the US market across the ocean. Australian rare earth suppliers cannot get rid of their dependence on the Chinese market. Chinese companies have also participated in Australian rare earth projects, and they obviously cannot meet the requirements of the United States. At this time, a country appeared in the public eye, and it was Vietnam. According to data from the International Mining Association, Vietnam's rare earth reserves rank second in the world, second only to China, with reserves of approximately 20 million tons, accounting for 18% of the world's total. This means that Vietnam has huge potential and has certain competitive advantages in the supply of rare earths. Two companies participating in relevant bidding projects revealed that Vietnam is planning to launch its largest rare earth mine, which means that Vietnam has begun to focus on establishing a rare earth supply chain. Australia's Blackstone mining executive Tessa Kutcher said Vietnam intends to put out a tender for its Dong Pao mine before the end of the year, and the company plans to pursue at least one concession. Biden and Vietnam launched strategic cooperation on rare earths. Vietnam is using its abundant rare earth reserves to increase its international market influence. There are still many untapped rare earth mines in Vietnam. If they are all mined and utilized, there is no guarantee that the world's rare earth industry chain will not change. Naturally, the United States is also aware of this situation. The United States is thinking about getting rid of its dependence on China's rare earth supply chain and finding a reliable country to cooperate with. Since Vietnam has such rich resources, the United States will definitely not miss it, so Biden came to ask for cooperation. In early September, Biden visited Vietnam and reached a number of cooperation contents, including cooperation on rare earth resources and technology. As a high-tech country, the United States has a huge demand for rare earth resources and technologies. Through rare earth cooperation with Vietnam and other countries, the stability of the rare earth supply chain can be ensured. This is an important strategic move for the United States. Biden has made it clear that he must obtain long-term stability from Vietnam no matter what. Rare earth supply cooperation. In order to keep Vietnam open to American investors, Biden was full of sincerity during his visit to Vietnam. It not only reaches technical cooperation on rare earth resources, but also involves investment and deployment in a series of high-tech industries such as semiconductors, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, aviation market, automobiles, etc. For example, American chip manufacturer Marvell Electronics plans to build a world-class semiconductor design center in Vietnam, and Boeing Company and Vietnam Airlines signed a multi-billion-dollar agreement to provide 50 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft to Vietnam. With so many big plans, if he hadn't paid full attention to Vietnam, I don't think Biden would have taken such pains. I am afraid that the investment deployment in the technology industry is only secondary. What is important is the de-risking layout of the rare earth industry chain. Can the United States get rid of China's rare earth supply chain? The United States says it will not decouple from China, but in fact it has the idea of decoupling in every move it makes. It uses the so-called de-risking and maintaining national security as excuses to suppress other countries and divert industries. The chain is transferred out. But the question is, can the United States get rid of China's rare earth industry chain? Let me start with the conclusion, which is difficult. China has advanced technology and experience in the extraction and processing of rare earth minerals, which poses challenges to the United States in building its own rare earth industry chain. After all, the core patented technologies involved are firmly in the hands of China. Without China's technology authorization, the United States would probably have to spend a lot of effort on independent research and development. And from the perspective of an incomplete industrial chain, the United States has weak links in many links of the rare earth industrial chain. For example, the United States has relatively weak capabilities in rare earth mining, fine processing, and production of rare earth permanent magnet materials. This has resulted in the United States becoming dependent on China for rare earth supplies. Even if the United States solves the problems of technology and industrial chain, it will still restrict the development of the United States on environmental protection issues. In the context of carbon peak and carbon neutrality, the United States cannot circumvent strict environmental protection laws. The mining and processing of rare earth ores can easily cause serious impacts on the environment. If good rare earth mining technology cannot be mastered, environmental problems cannot be guaranteed. Therefore, it can be concluded that it is very difficult for the United States to get rid of China's rare earth industry chain. It does not mean that it can solve the problem by seeking cooperation with Vietnam and having rich rare earth reserves. Every link including technology, equipment, industrial chain, market competition, etc. is enough to make the United States miserable.